When Roger heard Charlie insult the Wu family like this, he became furious. So he immediately turned around and went downstairs, ready to meet Charlie for a while. At this moment, Warnya looked at Lu Guang, who was blushing and swollen by Charlie, and called the home bodyguard. As soon as the bodyguard arrived, she pointed at Lu Guang and ordered, "Throw this man out for me. Dare to come in again and break his legs." "Yes, miss." When the bodyguards heard this, they rushed to the front and held Lu Guang directly to throw him out of the Song family. However, at this moment, a cold voice suddenly rang. "I see who dares to throw him out." With his hands on his back, Roger walked down the stairs step by step, with indifference and anger on his face. Originally, he asked Lu Guang to come over to trouble Charlie and prevent Charlie from coming off stage, in order to slap Charlie severely and make him lose face in front of Warnya. Unexpectedly, this Charlie dared to be so arrogant. He didn't put the Wu family in his eyes at all. He slapped Lu Guang twice and slapped almost into a dead dog. This is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that this Charlie is so bold that he dared to call the Wu family rubbish. It is simply intolerable, which is unbearable. When the bodyguards saw Roger come down, they hesitated for a while. After all, he and his father also lived in the Song family for a few days, and the bodyguards had long known that they were the distinguished guests of the family. Lu Guang suddenly showed excited eyes and blurted out, "Mr. Wu, you have to call the shots for me." Roger glanced at him annoyingly, cursing in his heart, "Useless dog stuff. No small things can't be done. What use is it of you?" Warnya also frowned at this time and asked, "Roger, what do you mean? What does this matter have to do with you?" Roger said indifferently, "It's not interesting. Lu Guang is from our Wu family. He came with my dad and me. If you want to throw him out now, you just hit our Wu family in the face." Then he said to Charlie again, "And you, who gave you the courage to beat him, and dare to be disrespectful to my Wu family? Now you immediately kneel down and slap yourself, otherwise, don't blame me." For him, although Lu Guang is just a dog, this dog can be beaten by himself, but he can't be beaten by others. Otherwise, where would he put Roger's face? Where to put the face of Wu family? Charlie looked at him and asked, "What? Is your Wu family very good?" "Of course." Roger sneered very arrogantly. "The Wu family is the largest family in the south of the Yangtze River, and also a leader in the whole country. You dare to say that Wu family is rubbish?" Charlie smiled contemptuously, and looked up and down Roger. "Not to mention, this guy is indeed similar to Wu Qi, and he is indeed the brother of a compatriot." However, before Charlie spoke, Warnya hurriedly stepped forward and blurted out, "Roger, this is Lu Guang's provocation first. Don't embarrass Mr. Wade." "Mr. Wade?" Roger was annoyed when he heard Warnya come out to protect Charlie, and blurted out, "He is just a rubbish, dare to call him a master?" Warnya stepped forward and said solemnly, "Roger, please pay attention to your own words. Mr. Wade is an idol in my mind, and I can't tolerate you shaming him." Roger didn't expect that the goddess Warnya was actually Charlie's stinky-licking dog. He couldn't help crying in resentment in his heart. How can this guy be compared to me? I am the man you should kneel and lick. You are really blind. Thinking of this, he said coldly, "Warnya, let me tell you, this kid surnamed Wade beat our Wu family's dog and scolded our Wu family. Even if Mr. Song came out to talk, I can't forgive that." After that, he immediately pointed to Lu Guang and shouted to Charlie, "Kneel down and kowtow to my son, then kneel down and kowtow 3 heads to me. I will not hold you accountable for this matter for now." Hearing this, Lu Guang was overjoyed. Those 2 slaps just now weren't in vain. The eldest master has already begun to stand for him. So Lu Guang covered his face and strode to Charlie, arrogantly cursing, "Have you heard? Why don't you kneel down?" Charlie snorted disdainfully, and suddenly stretched out his hand, grabbed Lu Guang's neck, and directly lifted him in place. Roger was dumbfounded. He didn't expect that Charlie could lift Lu Guang, 150 or 60 kilograms, with one hand, and his feet were suspended. At this time, Lu Guang only felt that his neck was pinched by a strong force, and his feet were kicking randomly in the air, but the more he struggled, the more he couldn't breathe. Charlie looked at Lu Guang and said coldly, "Do you dare to say one more word, I will write on your forehead, and I will also engrave the word, poor hang." After that, he threw him to the ground. Lu Guang slammed, his bones were about to break, but he was already shocked by Charlie's coldness, and he crawled to Roger's side, really afraid to say another word. Seeing this, Warnya pointed to Lu Guang unceremoniously, and said to several bodyguards, "What are you still waiting for? I said, throw this guy out for me." As soon as the bodyguard heard this, he rushed forward and dragged Lu Guang up without saying a word. Lu Guang hurriedly shouted, "Mr. Wu, Mr. Wu. Help me, Mr. Wu." Roger clenched his fists tightly. This is simply humiliating him without any secret. He has never been insulted like this before. The anger in his eyes couldn't be turned away, and he gritted his teeth and said to Warnya, "Do you know if this Charlie is a married man or a waste son-in-law? You actually want to drive me for him?" Warnya said with a cold face, "Mr. Wade is a distinguished guest of the Song family, and one of the people I admire most. Let alone a dog in your family, even if you dare to continue to be disrespectful to Mr. Wade, I will do the same." Roger sullenly looked at Warnya, then at Charlie, sneered,